Hello, friends. My name is Aslam Shaikh, your host for this evening. I'm a founder and CEO of Aleph, a platform to promote the global perspective of education and career. This is our 50th webinar series. Yes, 50th. So it's a half century for us since the pandemic it has been started. And it is broadcasted live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn channel. Every Friday, we aim to bring in the valuable speakers to discuss the topic that is important to you and for your career. For those who are joining us first time, let me quickly introduce you who we are and what we do. So hereby I'm sharing my screen, and yes, this is how it looks like. So our company name is Alif. It's the first alphabet in Arabic and Urdu language, which signifies the beginning, and that's the reason why the company is named as it is. We established it in the year 2008. We have counseled over 23,000 students, maintain 100% admission ratio and 95% visa success ratio. We represent 14 plus countries and 230 plus universities. Our company is affiliated with ISEF and WEBA, which are the international bodies, British Council, BNI, etc., etc. Our company was also selected among the top 10 most recommended overseas education consultants by Insight Success last year. What we promise to our student is the 100% guarantee to the admission to the university who we represent here in India. And these are the few universities which are world renowned for their different respective programs for bachelor's, PG, and masters, where our students are studying. Talking about the scholarships, so we have till now, till 2019, as the data was available, we have distributed 23 crore worth rupees scholarship in equal dollars or euros or francs to our students across the institutes we represent in these 14 countries. Well, talking about the services, we help the students to do the career counseling. So that's a first step to identify the right program for them. And then we also help them to get coached for the IELTS exam, which is almost compulsory in almost all the institutes and countries. Our company has also been awarded a Silver Partner Award by British Council. And in the domain of study abroad, right from student profiling, that means that identifying the right college and country, making an application to the university, helping them to write a beautiful essay, arranging the education loan through the banks if they require the financial help, helping the students for visa, fee transfer, air ticket, foreign exchange, pre-departure, and also arranging the accommodation. So these are the range of services which we are offering to our students who are aspiring to go abroad for higher education. These are the countries which we represent across various continents of Europe, North America, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. We are very active on social media, so do join us or follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or follow us on Instagram. We do organize a lot of events online, offline, so you can participate. We invite the universities, or we do participate in the international events as well. These are the photographs of our counselors, me visiting our students, meeting them, attending the sessions in abroad. So we get to know the students' experiences, which we can share with you if you are planning to go abroad for higher education. And well, talking about me, as I said, my name is Aslam Sheikh. So I've counseled over 1,000 plus students, traveled to 14 plus countries. I'm a certified consultant by ISEF WEBA British Council. I'm also the executive member in the Bombay Industry Association and ex-president of BNI Plus chapter, which is world's largest networking group. I'm also the active member of Indo-Swiss, Indo-American, and Indo-German Chamber of Commerce. I was also privileged to have being included in the top 10 best consulting leaders for 2020 by Knowledge Review. So that's pretty much about us. And let's get back to our today's topic. And today's topic is very interesting. It's talking about and exploring Switzerland as a number one country or destination for hospitality management. And to discuss this exciting subject, we have with us an expert speaker. And let me do the honor of introducing him. Let's welcome Tariq Kotle. Hello, Tariq.
Hi, hello, Aslam. Hi, everyone.
Thank you very much, Tariq, for joining us. And let me quickly read Tariq's bio. So Mr. Tariq Kotle is the Director of Marketing Development Asia Pacific for Swiss Education Group. Mr. Tariq also holds a BA degree in business, MBA in marketing, and MBA in hospitality management. And he has got over 15 years of experience in the management and hospitality field. His passion has led him to specialize in marketing and business development of education, and specifically hospitality schools for last over 13 years in his professional journey. So Tariq, we really welcome you and we appreciate your time. And let's begin this session. So Tariq, as we are trying to explore the different countries and different programs on this Friday program, and today we are specifically exploring Switzerland. I think it's a very good time to explore Switzerland because of few reasons. Number one, Switzerland was recently named as the safest country in the world during COVID by Forbes. So that tells a lot about this country's health system and safety system. And also recently we have got a QS ranking, which has put Switzerland as a number one destination for hospitality education. Taking this conversation further, we would like to understand from you, for the students' point of view, that what is the significance? Why Switzerland is always come onto the top for hospitality? What is the significance of a country as Switzerland? Those who are looking to study in Europe, Tariq.
Okay, Aslam. Thanks again for having me on your show. I love being here, as you know.
Thank you.
I think I think that Switzerland there's one thing about Switzerland that people should know. Although I'm not Swiss myself, I'm proud to have lived there for many years. And whatever they do it to the best of their ability, and they do it in a great way, and they do it with a long-term plan, right? So the Swiss people in general will always have long-term excellence when they put anything together, such as their healthcare system. Same applies to how they dealt with COVID-19. Unfortunately, of course, COVID-19, the situation fluctuates in many markets, just in many countries such as Switzerland. So it gets better, but again, then it gets worse. But overall, it's still been a very safe country throughout the pandemic. And actually, hospitality education started in Switzerland. Many people might not know that. And connected to what I just said, because it started in Switzerland, the Swiss people and the Swiss population made sure that they become the best at it. And they made sure that the educational system that they put together for hospitality was a global leader and that would excel compared to other countries. And you can see that in the rankings today. So actually, the first ever hotel training school in the world started in Switzerland over 120 years ago. And up until today, Switzerland has been in the forefront of education for this industry. It's evolved quite a lot, obviously. I mean, very different back 120 years ago to what it is today and what the Swiss hospitality schools offer today. But as I mentioned, whatever the Swiss do, they do it best.
Absolutely. Whatever Swiss do, they do the best. And in fact, just to complement what Tarek said, I've got few figures. Like, friends, do you know that Switzerland is being consistently ranked among the top three destinations in the world for being the most innovative countries for their innovations and for their strategic point of view. So that's something which is very unique about Switzerland. And also very exciting information before we go further, that do you know that Switzerland has got 7,000 lakes and it's such a small country. That's beautiful, and that makes Switzerland really, really a beautiful, naturally beautiful country. Okay, friends, so let's move on to the next question. And next question we have with us, Tariq, you are representing Swiss Hotel Management School, and we know that in this current years of QS subject-wise hospitality ranking is being ranked among the top 5 in the world, which is a privilege to be and to compete with one of the best universities across the globe for different countries. We would like to know more about SHMS. The students are already very excited to join Switzerland for hospitality, but give us some very strong reasons why should they look at SHMS as their most prominent option.
First of all, I had no idea that there were more than 7,000 lakes in Switzerland. So that's a great education piece of education today. Thanks, Asslam, for that. And just a small correction, actually, Switzerland is ranked the number one most innovative country in the world for the past 4 years at least, based on various rankings. So in the top 3, but actually number 1. The Swiss Hotel Management School is ranked number 4 in the world this year on QS. The SHMS has a long tradition in actually educating students in a very innovative and a very diverse way, right? The Swiss Hotel Management School has been focused on making sure that we create and develop the leaders of hospitality for many years. But SHMS, although is founded on Swiss if I may say, traditional education in hospitality. So we still keep that in our DNA, but we're a very innovative school as well, just as Switzerland is. So every year, what we do at the Swiss Hotel Management School is that we make sure that the programs that we're offering are extremely relevant in terms of what the industry needs. So we have a very close contact to what the industry is requesting from our graduates. That's why you'll see that almost all of our students upon graduation will get a job. We have a very, very low, almost, I won't say 100% because that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but close to 100% employment rate. And the other very interesting thing about the Swiss Hotel Management School, although it's a very based on the traditional Swiss way of teaching hospitality management, it's a very technological based school. We really implement, other than the industry insights, technological insights. So we take technology into consideration very seriously. We make sure that all of the teaching is done on platforms that are very relevant to the generation that we're teaching. There's technology involved in everything that we do. And we make sure that the students have the skills and the skill set, the technological skill sets that they need for when they get out, go out into the workforce. It's not by chance that actually SHMS was the only school and the first school in the world to be a hotel school, hospitality school that is distinguished by Apple. So it's the only Apple distinguished school in the world.
Wow, that's nice. That's really remarkable, and that tells to the students and parents who are aspiring to make a career in hospitality that there are a lot of technological advancement which are happening in this kind of programs as well. Which sometimes it is very difficult for the students and parents to comprehend from India. Because they do see a very basic style of education structure back in this country, and it's very difficult sometimes to comprehend that how come technology can be a part of a course like hospitality and not only relating with computer and IT and engineering programs. So thank you, Tariq, for enlightening us on this particular information. And we also heard about SHMS that it's housed into the palace. So would you like to touch upon this particular point? Because whenever we talk about this particular fact to the schools and high school principals and counselors, they really just go, wow. I mean, that's never heard of something.
It's actually an interesting story. And again, sorry to correct you, Aslam, we're housed in two palaces.
Two palaces.
Yeah, two palaces. The founder of SHMS actually, it's one of those visionary moments where he was in Montreux, in the beautiful city of Montreux. The first campus of SHMS is in the Co Palace, which is a 1902 palace, one of the first palace hotels that was ever built and created in Switzerland. And he looked up at this palace that was actually being used as a congress center for many years. And he said, that is where I want the Swiss Hotel Management School to be. And he made it happen. So actually, yes, you're right. One of the two of our campuses are located in one of the most beautiful palaces, which has throughout history housed some of the most prominent people. We've even had very important people from India actually that were staying there, the royalties, very important business people from all around the world. And the second campus, which is based in Lausanne, is also one of the first palace hotels in Switzerland as well. So actually SHMS offers, as I mentioned, this very high-tech, contemporary, up-to-date educational curriculum, but still founded on those very nice traditional Swiss, not only the foundations of education, but also in very traditional buildings, which makes it very inspiring for students.
Absolutely, I'm sure it is. And whenever we visit and whenever our staff visit, they just don't want to leave so quickly after the visits is over. So that's a beauty which attracts, I'm sure, a lot of students and parents as well. Okay, moving further, once we understand the Switzerland and one of these beautiful hotel management schools located within the palace, let's talk about the programs. So what kind of program does this palace schools offer to the students at bachelor's and at a postgraduate level? Tariq.
Thank you. So Aslam, we have, as you mentioned, we have two separate types of programs at the Swiss Hotel Management School. We have the bachelor programs, which students can split up into different specializations, actually 3 specializations. And then we have various master programs, which can be done either on campus and or online with a small on-campus component. So our bachelor degree is very much focused on the business and hospitality component. So we have a BA in hospitality management, and we have 3 concentrations: 1 concentration in hospitality management, 1 concentration in events management, and 1 concentration in design management. It's very important that we talk about this a little bit, because the design aspect of hospitality is extremely important. The experience of the customer, the way that they feel, the atmosphere, is a huge part of how you're going to attract your customers and how you're going to actually get money from your customers. So we really have a nice concentration there for students who want to get into the design aspect of hospitality. And then on the master's level, we have Masters of International Business in Hotel and Hospitality Management. We have postgraduate diplomas in various segments such as operations, again, postgraduate in hospitality. We have a Master's of Science in Hospitality Management, which is more for the academic track, for students that would like to get into the academia segment of hospitality. And we also have our Masters of International Business, which is a blended program where students can do, I'd say, 95% of their program online, and then they can do 2 weeks at the end of the program in Switzerland. This blended program can be stretched up to 2 years, which is great for professionals that are working in the field. And it's an opportunity for students that want to get a very strong Swiss degree on their CV to improve either their current standings or to find a new job and to network around the world without having to leave home.
Wow. So, friends, that's again a very important point which Tariq made. And again, coming from India, we know that we have got a very limited understanding of hospitality management. And Tariq took us to talk about the specialization, which not only just talk about hospitality, but it goes beyond hospitality. And that's where we touch upon the events management program. So many of our students who are interested to make a career in the event field, which is very happening and all the go, you can pick up this course, this particular concentration, and also design management, which is very interesting to find, because I hardly see any hospitality schools concentrating and talking about the design management, which in fact, according to our opinion, would be the first very important point to notice about any other hotel. So you remember the hotel, it's because of this aesthetic beauty, whether it's interior or exterior. And I believe that that's very important to also learn and explore this particular area of management. So thank you very much, Tariq, for focusing onto these areas. So friends, here is the program. And for more information, of course, you can visit our website or contact us. Moving further, Tariq, would you like to also talk about the internship aspect? And we know that Switzerland is very, very practical oriented country in terms of teaching. So would you like to talk about the internship, how it is blended with the program?
Of course, yeah. So Aslam, as you mentioned, that the hospitality management, our business and hospitality management is although the core of our studies are focused on business administration, because the students that are listening to us or the parents that are listening to us, they need to understand that hospitality management is not just about hotels, right? We teach business administration. We teach about the human behavior. We teach about customer behavior, and we try and plug students into this vast industry of hospitality. There's so many different career options that students can get into, even during the pandemic, and hopefully even more after the pandemic. So in order to prepare students for such an interesting, diverse, human kind of an industry where you have to deal a lot with the human element, we have a lot of practical and soft skills building on our programs at SHMS. So not only do students do their internships, which I'll talk about in 1 minute, but students also in their first year of studies and throughout their studies actually do quite a lot of practical work on campus. As an example, students will will take a few weeks in working in the F&B, in the restaurants and in the cafes of our school, so that they can understand how to pay attention to detail, so they can understand about the customer service skills that they need. We have a fine dining restaurant where the students will learn about the necessities of understanding the fine dining aspect of hospitality. And then, of course, throughout their studies, the students will work on various projects, such as the banquets. They have to put together different events and activities. And on campus, they actually, as much as possible, get the real world and the real practical side of hospitality injected into their study experience. Nevertheless, our students do 2 internships in their bachelor program and 1 internship on their master's program, other than the blended MIB, which there's no internships. And these are really for students to be able to, as I mentioned earlier, inject practicality into their education, right? So in year 1 for a BA student, the students will do a 6-month internship, well, 4 to 6 months. In year 2, they'll do a second 4 to 6 month internship. And actually, the strength of SHMS is being a part of also the Swiss Education Group. So we're a large group. We have 4 hospitality and culinary and business management schools across Switzerland. We work with over 120 of the leading companies in the world in the business. We have various tools and various platforms to make sure that all of our students are getting the best internships possible globally and in Switzerland, and to make sure that when they graduate, they also get a very good job. So all of this, Aslam, as I mentioned earlier, the practicality of it is within the program and also in the internships.
Wow. So I think this is where even the current education policy of our government has also emphasized to make student work practically whilst they are educating themselves. And this is something which I guess we got to learn a lot from Swiss education system, wherein the internship has become a part of your program at the bachelor's as well as at the master's level. Is it a paid internship, Tariq?
Yeah. All of the internships are. It's really depends on the market or the country that the student would go to. The key bottom line for us is that the students will not have to actually spend money from their own pocket when they're on their internship. Some companies that the students go to, some countries that they go to, the company will offer them, for instance, accommodation and meals and a small salary. Some other companies will offer them a larger salary, but they won't offer them accommodation and meals. In Switzerland,
Right.
the minimum wage is 2,600 and, well, 2,750 approximately Swiss francs per month. And we always try and encourage our students to do at least one of their internships in Switzerland to get that Swiss experience while they're there.
Absolutely, absolutely. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Tariq. Thank you very much. So before we go further, I've got another a very interesting piece of information where we are talking about having this learning experience. So, friends, Switzerland is also being it's a small country, and if you compare the size, maybe it not maybe it's exactly the California. If you compare in USA, it's a 10 time of Switzerland. So Switzerland is a small country. However, this small country has got world's highest quality of life. That's what you can enjoy as a student and you can experience as a student. And also, Switzerland has got 25% of its population as a foreigner, and that makes Switzerland itself is a very international country. Moving further, let's understand from Tariq. Tariq, once the students graduate after going through the programs and internship, what kind of career options would be available for him? What kind of jobs he would be expecting? What kind of industries would be coming in, or whether college can help him or her in this regards?
Thanks, Assam. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's part of the process of doing internships is really there are many positive aspects of a student doing an internship. One of them, in order to make a long story short, is for a student to kind of identify what they want to do in their life and what kind of a concentration or what kind of a field suits them best within the hospitality industry and maybe within other businesses outside of hospitality. So, as I mentioned earlier, the hospitality industry is one of the largest in the world. It has so many different kind of spheres and career paths that students can get into. It's very important for us, while the students are with us, that we try and concentrate them and focus them as much as possible on what they want to do. Now, when a student reaches their graduation, so when they're in their last months of studying, whether they're on the BA program or when they're on their master's program, we start working very closely with them to make sure that they're using all of our platforms and all of our networks to start applying for jobs. So we are actually helping them hand in hand to make sure that leaving SHMS or any of the other SEG schools that they are leaving school with a job offer. You will be amazed at what type of industries the students will get into. We have students that graduate from SHMS and might get into food and beverage management or hotel management, which is probably the most classic kind of a career that you would expect a student from a hospitality and hotel management school to get into. But then you have students getting into the automotive industry. They get into banking. They get into consulting. They get into teaching and training. As I mentioned earlier, again, Aslam, it's really important for us to note here that hospitality teaches business, right? And I think that you and I, over private discussions, have discussed this quite a lot. More and more companies from outside of the hospitality, the traditional hospitality sphere, are moving towards hiring students from hospitality schools. Like I mentioned, banks, car companies, luxury brand companies. The reason why they do this is because a hospitality management student understands business, has very strong soft skills. They know how to present themselves. They know how to present. They understand the customer. They're really trained very much on customer service and paying attention to detail. And usually they're quite friendly and very open-minded and very prepared to work hard. So every year, even at the Swiss Education Group, we see more and more companies that have nothing to do with hospitality that are coming to us and saying, we want your students. We want to hire them. So I would really encourage students to not only come and study with us, but you get into our industry.
Yes, absolutely. So, friends, a very important point Tariq has clarified that it's a stepping stone to enter into any industry which demands you to be service oriented. So that's the reason why the companies like Tesla, Omega, Tizot, these are the companies, one of the few who comes on campus, along with, of course, hospitality and range of hospitality program, hospitality industry offering companies to recruit the students. So with this, we'll move to the last question, and then we'll have, start the rapid fire question with Tariq. So last question, Tariq, for you would be that if I, as a student, I'm hearing to you and I'm really interested after knowing all the facts and figures about the institute and the country, and want to take my first step. I'm just having my biggest doubt is that how the teaching is happening at the moment on the campus, given this current situation, and can I apply now? And what are my prospects of learning physically being onto the campus?
So yeah, right now we have to be very honest and completely open with the students. At the moment, the lessons that are happening on campus are not face to face. The students are actually that are on campus, that have chosen to study on campus and not from home, are doing their lessons via virtual learning in their bedrooms. But we do have some practical courses and some activities going on for students. So for the students that are on campus, we're trying to keep as much as possible, always in accordance to the Swiss federal guidelines, to make sure that we have a safe campus for our students, combining it with as much life for the students as possible. Of course, it's not the best experience, right, for the hospitality students especially, but it's the best experience that we can offer to students at the time being. Hopefully, we're expecting that in Switzerland that by April, May, we might be allowed to start initiating face-to-face classes. We really believe that by July maximum, that face-to-face classes will be back to normal. So for a student that's listening to us now, interested in starting in either September or October, I think by then, I really hope by then that the majority of the Swiss population will be vaccinated and we will be able to go back to face. So yes, of course, please apply. We have scholarships available. We have nobody better than Alif that knows our programs. I always tell Aslam that I think he knows us better than I know us. So him and his team are the perfect people to go to initiate your application. And of course, we do have limited scholarships available. Still, we have a few available. So please make sure that you reach out to Aslam and his team to get that started.
Thank you, Tariq. Thank you very much for that compliment. So, friends, if you are interested to take the benefit of the scholarship which is available and exclusively by SHMS for this limited period, do contact us and we will help you to guide you through to be eligible to get this scholarship. And as Tariq said, that you can start making an application. And for the September-October batch, we are expecting the offline mode of education to be available given the situation. So thank you very much, Tariq, for this piece of information. And let's quickly move to the last part of our conversation, that's called a rapid fire question round. And Tariq, I will ask you a very straightforward a question which otherwise student wants to ask you, and you need to answer in just 2 or 3 words. So
Perfect.
here we go, and let's start. The first question is 15 years of education at bachelor's level from India is accepted for master's entry?
15 years of education?
Yeah, so what happens is that when you go to US, they ask you to come with a bachelor plus 1 year, because our bachelor is 3 years here in India.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they don't accept master's entry directly after 3 years of bachelor. They ask us to do 1 more year here, so that
Yeah.
it becomes 16 years, and then we apply. So
Okay,
how does
sorry.
it happen in Switzerland?
No, that's fine. You can apply with a BA
Okay, great.
of 3
Thank you very
years.
much. So 3 years education in India is directly acceptable by Switzerland to have you direct entry into masters. Next question: is IELTS mandatory? If yes, what's the score required?
It's yes. It's either 5.5 or 6, depending on the program that you apply to.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question: what's the duration for bachelor program?
3 years, including
And
2
duration?
interns.
3 years with 2 internship. Okay, so practically they are studying for 2 years and having a 1 year of internship, practically, approximately.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and what's the duration for masters?
It could be anywhere between 6 months to 2 years, depending on the program. So it could be 6 months plus internship. It could be actually 2 years if you do the blended MIB, which I mentioned, the blended masters, and you stretch it to 2 years.
Okay. How far is the college from the main city?
We have so many campuses, we need to specify which college they're talking about. But in general,
Okay, SHMS Co-Palace.
SHMS Copalas is 20 minutes train ride to Montreux.
Okay,
I wouldn't
great.
call Montreux a big city, but it's the nearest bigger town that is there.
Okay, fair enough. And which is the nearest airport to the college, to SHMS college?
To SHMS, it is the Geneva airport, which would be approximately an hour and 15 minutes away by train.
Okay, you answer very well. Thank you very much, Tariq. And here are the quick answers. So, yes. Okay, so friends, here are the answers of Tariq, and I'm sure that these are the questions which you are anyways looking for the answers for. So that's what makes your life easy to take your first step towards making an application to Switzerland. So thank you, Tariq. Thank you very much for your time and being available with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tariq. And thank you, my friends who have joined us or who will be joining us to watch this exciting program of Exploring Switzerland as a #1 country in hospitality management. You can watch this live sessions once it is available in the recorded format on Facebook, LinkedIn, or even YouTube. So thank you for all the audience who are available with us. If you have any question, you can contact us on our helpline number 99870 999890, or you can visit our website www.alif.in, and you can find the information passage whereby you can leave your comment and our counselor will get back to you. Wherein, my name is Asslam Shaikh, founder and CEO of Alif, signing off with a promise to come back again next Friday at 5 p.m. with another interesting topic and some amazingly talented speakers, enlightening you on a subject that matters to you the most. Until then, stay safe and stay excited.